today's cryptocurrency analysis. And you're welcome to your favorite channel. One more time, is your boy Crypto Femi. If you like the channel, please click on the like button, click on the subscribe button, as we would be looking at the market in general and look at our favorite coin, Bitcoin or BTC, and we'll be seeing what will happen in the next few weeks, in the next days, and even in the next hour. So if you like the channel, click on the like button, click on the subscribe button, share with your friends. And today we are looking at Bitcoin, and the price for BTC is 16,801 at the moment. No change either to the upside or to the downside. If we look at the chart for BTC, right, on the weekly, we've just seen we've been basically in just a sideways movement, right, even for the whole 7 days, right? So probably if you had just remained and not necessarily traded or necessarily like done anything, so you wouldn't have missed anything, maybe as regards the lunar fiasco. But generally, we could see that we have been ranging as regards prices, right? The top of the range we could see at the beginning of the week, we had the downfall from 20,000 even to 15,000, and then from then on we have been ranging. So not much change in the price of BTC. If we go down to the month or the monthly time frame, we could see that we've had our gigantic fall this month, right? As you can see, we had that fall this month, right? And we saw BTC, right, go down from 21,000 even down to the 17,000, right? So, but what we want to see today is we want to look at what is going to be happening to the price of Bitcoin in the coming few days and weeks. And one of the things we want to be considering today, or we would be looking at today, is what the miners are doing. And I will be telling you why I believe that 16,000 is not the bottom, and we could probably go to as low as $10,000. Now, this is on-chain analytics company or on-chain analytics platform called CryptoQuant, right? And we would see a few charts, right? This is the miners are selling every rise. The last 4 hours, there was a clear inflow of Bitcoin from the miners after Bitcoin corrected up to 16,900. It seems the miners have had a negative outlook in the short term as they are taking advantage of every speculative rise in the market to sell some of their Bitcoin reserves. The mean amount of coins transferred from the affiliated miners to the exchange. If the miner sends some proportion of their reserve at the same time, it could trigger a price drop, right? And this is the chart that he was talking about. As you can see, in the last 1 hour, right, we could see a huge spike in the price, right? Miners sending a lot of their Bitcoin to exchanges. And you know what happens, or you know what happens to the price of Bitcoin when that happens. As you can see, we had a huge spike in price, right? During this period, price of Bitcoin was around 50,000, and we saw a huge decline. The next time was when price was at about 20,000. We saw a huge, even more than that of when prices was about the 50,000 mark. We saw a very huge uh, transfer of Bitcoin to exchanges by the Bitcoin miners. As you can see, the Bitcoin miners to exchange flow, we saw about a very huge transfer of Bitcoin by the miners. As you can see, what happened to the price, we went downwards as they began to sell a lot down, and now we've had a little spike in price, and we could see that there's another huge inflow by the miners. So probably The only reason why they sent these bitcoins to the exchanges are to sell. As you can see, in the past, every single time there was a huge spike in the transfer of bitcoin to exchanges, we had a dump. Every single time there was a huge spike, we had a dump. Every single time there was a huge spike, we should expect a dump. So probably I wouldn't be buying Bitcoin right now. So probably we could be expecting more dump for Bitcoin in the coming few days and even in the coming few weeks, right? Other data are also confirming what we are saying, right? Let's make quick of the miners situation update. As you know, most of the miners are underwater because the realized price for the miners is around 19,000 for Bitcoin. So let me explain what happens, right? So how do the Bitcoin miners make money? So what they do is that they have these large machines, right? And the machines are able to, through a series of complex calculations, right, produce Bitcoin after making such a complex calculation. So the miners are only profitable, right, when they are able to take those Bitcoin to the exchanges and sell them and be able to pay for their electricity cost, be able to pay for maintaining the machines, be able to pay, right, for their workers, and their profitability number is at 19,000. So they are actually running at a loss, right? And most of them do not have like a reserve, right? So they need to sell as much Bitcoin as they have to be able to cover their operational costs. It's risky because we could expect a capitulation of some miners, usually the smallest ones. During the market, during the current market dump, the whole situation with FTX and Alameda and other terrible news, miners distributed BTC a bit on this day, dump day. They added something to or to deepen the price action, the outflows. Now, this is looking at the chart. As you can see, this is another chart, right, showing us what happened every single time the miners had sent large portions of BTC to exchanges, right? We had some of the largest portion of BTC to exchanges in January of 2021. As we can see, they sold and pushed the price down. Retail, probably small money, pushed the price up, and since then we have been going down. As we can see, the next time they sold was at probably around March or April, right, of 2022, and we could see a huge downward spiral since then. The next time they sold was July of 2022. We saw a little bump to the upside, then downwards. Next time they sold, September 2022, the price was pushed up a little bit. You can see downward. And next, now we are seeing one of the largest inflow, right, of Bitcoin to the exchanges by miners. So probably we could see a little more push to the upside before we see further downward price movement. And that's why I think 10K is actually very, very possible for BTC. Right. Another data that shows us or that is giving us a huge warning as regards Bitcoin is the MPI, or what we call the miners position index. Now, this is the fourth time the MPI has hit this warning. The miners position index, also called the MPI, is the ratio of the total miners outflow in USD to its 1 year moving average of the total miners outflow. That means the higher value shows that miners are sending more coins than usual, indicating possible selling. So if miners send some proportion of their reserves at the same time, it could trigger a price drop. Now we will see a chart as to every single time the MPI has hit a warning, what happened after that period. Now this is a chart, right, of the MPI. As you can see, the MPI also mean the miners position index, right? Now every single time the MPI has flashed, as we could see, the MPI was at its largest, or we had one of the largest show, or we had one of the largest uh, value for the MPI at around March of 2020, and we could see a huge decline in price. As you can see, we had another large value for the MPI, huge decline, another large value, huge decline. Every single place where we saw a large value on the MPI, as you can see, which is denoted by the green, we have seen prices go downwards, right? Same thing here. We are seeing now, the problem is we are seeing a lot and a lot and a lot, a lot. This is the MPI happening twice, so probably we could see more selling to the downside by the Bitcoin miners. But let's move over to the chart and see what we can get from the chart as regards the price analysis for Bitcoin. Now, this is we on the chart and trading view. This is Bitcoin USD. Bitstamp is our data source, and we would be looking at this is Bitcoin on the monthly time frame. And if you're a constant viewer of this channel, you would have known that we love to look at our analysis from the larger time frames, because the larger time frames can effectively tell us what's happening in the market and what could happen in the upcoming few weeks and months, right? And the first data we love to look at is our EMA ribbons, right? And what we said about our EMA ribbons is every single time price goes above the EMA ribbons, as you can see, the first started in it first started in 2015 when we had the bull run in 2015. Every single time price went above the EMA ribbons, we had a huge change in price. Actually, it started since the bull run. So we could see this was February of 2020, and price was above the EMA ribbons, right? And here we actually saw an increase of about 24,000%, right? We saw a retracement to the low, or to the end of the ribbon. We saw another huge uptake in price, and we said every single time, right, we have seen a change. We have seen price above the EMA ribbons. That was the best time to buy, and we have seen a huge bull run. After that, we could see that the next time price went above the EMA ribbons was 1st of November of 2015. We saw a huge rise of about 5,000% in the price of Bitcoin. Now, this is on the monthly time frame, mind you, right? We saw about 5,000%. We saw a retracement back to the end of the ribbon, right? And now, when we came above the ribbon, if you had just bought Bitcoin when we came above the ribbon, you would have had an 890% profit on Bitcoin. Now, but for the first time in Bitcoin's history, we are going below the EMA ribbons, and this is very, very, very concerning for Bitcoin, as we could see a huge capitulation in the price of Bitcoin. As you can see, we have never, just a huge week in 2020 when we came below the EMA ribbons, and we quickly were bought up. As you can see here, also we came quickly just below the EMA ribbons as we were bought up. But here we are, first time in the history of Bitcoin, we are actually seeing it go below the EMA ribbons on the monthly. So probably our next support, right, is at the $10,000 region. So we could see BTC come to the 10,000 region, right? That is our next possible support, probably the 11,000 region, as you can see here. 11,700. So this is not out of the books. I will implore you to be very, very open that we could see Bitcoin move even to the 11,000 region. Why? Is because every single time we came above, we quickly wicked above. But now the problem is that we have wicked, retested the EMA rebounds, and continued the trend on the monthly. So probably we should, every single time this happens, we go back, right, to our next support level. And our next support level is at 11,755. So on the long run, we should be expecting further downward price action even for Bitcoins, especially now that we can see that the miners are selling. We can see that technically on the monthly time frame we should see a push downwards even to the 12th to stroke 11,000 region for Bitcoin. But on the short term, to look at the short term volatility, let's look at what we said. In our yesterday video, we began looking at the price for Bitcoin, and we said we should probably be expecting lower prices on the charts because our indicators were saying so, right? And we had a very, very little fake move to the upside, and we had a huge dump to the downside. Now, this is our indicators which have been pulled up. As you can see on the indicators, right, we are in the lows. We're on record lows as regards money flow, and so what this says is that money is not coming into Bitcoin at the moment, right? Probably we are not seeing a lot of money coming into Bitcoin at the moment, so that is very, very concerning, showing that we could probably be in for a very, very long bear market. As we can see, also our oscillator telling us on the 2 weeks time frame, right, that we could probably still be in for a little more downside in the price of BTC. Now, if we look over to our weekly time frame, our weekly time frame gives us what's going to happen or what is happening in the short term. Now, in the short term, we could see Bitcoin reach prices of about 13,000 as we have a lot of buy liquidity at the 14,000 currently. Right, as you can see, every single place we have the blue, right? The blue signifies significant buy liquidity. Now, buy liquidity can also act as support and can also act as resistance, right? We see our next support on the weekly time frame is at 13,000. So probably we should BTC see some very funky movement, probably a sideways action, and then back to 13 to 14,000. So that's what we're expecting, right, on the weekly. Our indicators, if we pull up our indicators, same thing. Our indicators are indicating that we are bearish. As you can see, this is the money flow indicator, and the money flow indicator is saying money is leaving Bitcoin, right? And probably we could see further sideways action and then down. Same thing with our oscillator, right? Our oscillator is actually bearish, and this is very concerning for the price of Bitcoin. If we move over to this chart, we've been bearish from Bitcoin ever since we got into the green line on the monthly, sorry, the green the green line on the monthly, and we said every single time on the monthly when we came into the green line, we came back down to the blue line, and now we have broke the resistance, and probably we should see furthermore downward price action. If we pull up our indicators, our RSI is the lowest it has been in the history of Bitcoin. Same thing with our stochastic RSI, right? On the monthly, as we can see, the last time we had such a thing is in the last bear market, and we saw a long bear market before we saw a bull market. So probably we should be ready for months of consolidation as a bear market. Probably in 2023, we could see a huge rise in the price of Bitcoin. If we move over to the weekly gives us more information as to what we should be expecting for the price of Bitcoin, as we can see in the other chart. And probably, as you can see, BTC right now hanging by a thread, right? Every single time we came and retested the lines, we were coming down, as you can see, and probably we have our next support at 10,000, as we said on the other chart. If we pull up our indicators, as we can see, our every single time, right, our stochastic has actually followed the price, and we could see this is very dangerous for Bitcoin. I said it in the last time we had our Bitcoin video. You can go back and watch it. We're about 21,000, and I said we're gonna see a retracement soon. But a lot of people didn't believe it. People said, yo, Buron is back, blah blah. Now we have seen the huge fall, and we should see further fall in the price of Bitcoin, as we see this stochastic needs to correct downward. So probably we could see more downward price action even for the price of Bitcoin. But if we push over to the daily to just see what's going to happen, so probably we could push up a bit, come back to the 17,000, right, just to retest our EMAs, and then we could have more downward price action in the meantime, right? So you could see our RSI is moving upwards, so probably we could see our RSI move upwards a bit and then dump. Same thing with our stochastic moving upward a bit. So we should see our stochastic move upwards a bit and then have more downward price action for BTC. So that's it for the price of Bitcoin on several time frames as we get. So we should still be expecting further downward price action for the price of Bitcoin. If you like the channel, if you like what is shared, please click on the like button, click on the subscribe button. Thank you and have a blessed day.